Hello guys, it's Teresa Burton with your nonprofit agent. Thank you for visiting my channel today. Nonprofit Business Explained, where making your nonprofit business journey less complicated is the goal. Where you can create, build, and grow your nonprofit with the tools and tips and strategies that's provided on this channel. Today, I'm so excited to share with you 8 questions that I would love you to consider as you're preparing to start a nonprofit business or you're in the beginning stage to start your nonprofit business. I believe these 8 questions is going to help you mentally and also get you prepared for some challenges or some things to consider as you're starting a nonprofit business. So let's get started. Question number 1, why are you doing this? That question seemed like a very simple question, but that question is packed with many answers. So my question to you, why are you doing it, is to get you to think about what is the motive, what is the reason why you're doing this. Many times as a consultant business, I find individuals tell me that they've been suggested that they start a nonprofit business because they have a great idea. Well, that's not always a reason why to start a nonprofit business, because you got a great idea. Every great idea is not a nonprofit, even though it classifies as a nonprofit. But if you don't have the tools or you're equipped to start a nonprofit business or have the time to start a nonprofit business, then sometimes we have to reevaluate and put some things in the parking lot, or we have to do things a little bit different or give another structure. So why are you starting this nonprofit business? Is it something you know you need to be doing, you should be doing, or it's because it's been suggested that you do it? Number 2, do you want to own a business or do you want to lead a nonprofit business? And what do I mean by that? Meaning is, if you have an idea that you want to own, this is a business that you want to own, that you take personal ownership of, then it may not be a nonprofit business. Maybe you need to start a for-profit business. But if you're in the mindset that you want to lead a nonprofit organization that is governed by a board and you're sharing the responsibility with other individuals that's going to take the cause and solve a problem in the community, then yes, your idea and your mindset is a nonprofit business. But if you want to own it, if you want to pass it down to someone, I give more details in other videos about ownership versus actually being a nonprofit founder. So if you want to own it versus lead it, then you want to really consider, is this something that you want to turn into a nonprofit business? Number 3, what is your mission? Are you clear on your mission? Is your mission for the community, or is it your mission is for you? And then you may say, well, Teresa, why are you asking me that question? But once again, because a lot of wrong information out there, and because a lot of times people pass down error information, people start nonprofit business thinking that they can own it and thinking that it's all about what they desire to do versus it's about what the community needs. Is it the mission for the community, or is the mission is to benefit you? You have to ask these questions a little bit early up as you get ready to start, or you're thinking about starting a nonprofit business, so it will save you time from making errors, save you time and money, and just save you time altogether. So what is your mission of starting this nonprofit business? Is it for you to profit, or is it for the community to benefit from it? Number 4, what are you going to do? Okay, it sounds like it's been a repetitive question, but it's not. What are you going to do? So you know the mission and you understand the mission is very clear, but are you clear on how are you going to do this? How are you going to accomplish the mission that you have set out to do? So if, in other words, if you want to help individuals that's in domestic violence prevention or intervention or aftercare, do you know how you're going to connect your clients or connect those individuals in the community to the resources? Are you aware? Are you equipped, or do you have the resources to connect people to the resources that you're trying to provide? So what are you going to be doing? It's very important that you be very clear on what are you going to be doing. How are you going to accomplish the mission of this nonprofit organization? Number 5, do you give up quick? That is a very quick question. I know it sounds very simple, but it's not, because in your personal life every day, are you a type of person have the personality to give up quickly? Well, when it comes down to a nonprofit organization, you're going to run into very challenging situations, and not to talk about the negativity, but you got to think about the pros and the cons dealing with a nonprofit organization. Sometimes we can get overwhelmed when we start running into conflicts or situations. So if you're a person that easily get up, you may want to go ahead and consider, while you're in your beginning stage, go ahead and address those things. Go ahead and challenge yourself to get past that place where it's easy for you to give up, because you ran into a challenge. Number 6, how do you deal with rejection? You may say, Teresa, what do rejection have anything to do with starting a nonprofit business? Well, if you started a nonprofit business or you're thinking about starting a nonprofit business, that is one of the most challenging business to start. But it's a very exciting and it's so rewarding. But there is challenges when it comes down to starting a nonprofit business. And one of the things is dealing with funders, dealing with donors, dealing with people that's going to sponsor your nonprofit. You have to go out there and win and go out and talk about your nonprofit business, and you can do a presentation and still get rejected. If you don't deal with rejection well, that can shut you down, and if it shuts you down, it shuts the organization down. So if you don't deal with rejection good, you want to go ahead and put things in place. Maybe you're not the person that needs to do the presentation. Maybe you're not the person that's going to be the forefront of your nonprofit organization if you don't know how to handle rejection well. So you want to go ahead and address those things. If you can't address it within yourself, then you add to yourself, so where you're weak, that person is strong. Number 7, do you have startup funds to start your nonprofit organization? We already know nonprofit organization bloodline is fundraising, so we know that. However, if you're thinking about starting a nonprofit business within 6 months, 7 months, or a year, or 2 years, you want to go ahead and start now thinking about putting money aside to sow into your nonprofit business. You want to go ahead and tackle the legal paperwork that's going to require for you to be established and structured. So go ahead and start put some seeds aside so you can start up your nonprofit business. Number 8, the last question that you want to ask yourself, do you have a problem following rules? That's a question you need to ask yourself. If you're a person that don't like following rules, this is something you want to consider, because starting a nonprofit business, there are compliance from state, local, and also government that you have to be in a compliance with. If you're a person that don't like deadlines, a person that don't like rules, a person that don't like reports, you want to be very mindful as you start your nonprofit business. Go ahead and get your mindset knowing there's deadlines that you're going to have to meet, there's compliance that you're going to have to meet, there's rules that you're going to have to follow, there's rules that you're going to have to learn about a nonprofit business, and sometimes it can cause us to be very uncomfortable because those are not the things that we normally do. Well, starting a nonprofit business is not a walk in the park. It is fun, it is very fulfilling, it answers questions in the community, it provides services in our community. But the other side, the legal side, the business side, is things that we have to make sure we're in compliance with, and we got to make sure we follow the rules. So if you're a person that have problem with following the rules, you may want to go ahead and staff yourself, so therefore you can strengthen your weakness in the areas that you have a problem in. All right, guys, that's my time, and it was my hope today that the information I shared today is going to help you create, build, and grow your nonprofit business. Now, if you haven't already, I would love you to subscribe to my channel, and also make sure you hit that bell button so therefore you can get notification as we release new content. Now, I also would love to hear from you, so if you have any comments, I would love you to leave a comment in the comment section, because I would love to get the feedback and I would love to communicate with you. Until next time, have an amazing day.